Welcome to the Lodge. From the riverbanks to the end zones, we're diving deep into everything that matters most to the colony. You're listening to State of the Beavers. I'm your host, Brian, and whether you're a diehard alum, a nature enthusiast, or just here for the ecosystem, we've got you covered. Today on the show, we're breaking down the latest headlines, checking the pulse of the community, and asking the big questions that define our state today. Grab your gear, a beer, and settle in. It's time to gnaw through the noise. This is the State of the Beavers, starting right now.
All right, let's jump ahead a couple of years to 2026, because by then, the world of college football has been completely, and I mean completely, turned on its head. The conferences, the rivalries we all know, the path to a championship, it's all different. We're going to explore this brand new landscape together. So that's the big question, right? With so much chaos and so much change, the old powers are being tested like never before, and you just know new ones are ready to rise up. So let's try and figure out who is really in the best position to dominate this new era. But before we can even begin to talk about the best teams or the top players, we've got to understand the battlefield itself. And trust me, the conference map of 2026 is almost unrecognizable. It changes everything. First up, the Big Ten. Look at this. It's not just a Midwest powerhouse anymore. Not even close. It is now a true coast-to-coast super conference. You've got the traditional powers, and now you're adding West Coast titans like USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington. The travel schedule is going to be brutal, no doubt about it. But man, the matchups, they are going to be absolutely legendary. And if you thought the SEC was a gauntlet before, well, it just got a whole lot tougher. The conference went out and added two absolute blue bloods in Texas and Oklahoma. This move pretty much cements the SEC's claim as the deepest, most competitive conference in the entire nation, from top to bottom. Now this is where it gets really interesting, the new-look Big 12. It's become this massive, sprawling conference, just absorbing teams from all over the place. I mean, you've got former Big 10 staples like Nebraska and Wisconsin joining forces with Pac-12 refugees like Colorado and Arizona State. It is a wild, fascinating mix of football cultures and play styles. But maybe the most radical change of all is what happened to the Pac-12. To survive, it had to completely reinvent itself. And get this, Notre Dame, the fiercely proud independent for all those years, is now a full conference member. And they're joined by former Group of Five giants like Boise State and Memphis. This is a conference truly built for survival in a new era. So here's the bottom line. Everything we thought we knew is different. Historic, century-old rivalries are gone, replaced by new, sometimes strange ones. The schedule difficulty has been cranked up for some and changed completely for others. The path to making the college football playoff is a brand new puzzle for every single team. Okay, now that we've got the lay of the land, let's meet the players who are going to be making all the headlines. These are the guys set to define the entire 2026 season. So here it is, your preseason Heisman watch list, and it is just loaded with offensive firepower. You've got three huge-name quarterbacks and two of the most electric wide receivers in the nation. You better get used to hearing these names because they are going to be all over your TV screen this fall. Let's just zero in on two of those QBs for a second. You've got Nico Iamaleava trying to lead UCLA through that brutal new Big Ten schedule we just talked about. And then you have Dylan Raiola, carrying all the hopes of Nebraska in that completely remade Big 12. How they perform is going to be one of the biggest stories of the year. And you just can't talk about superstars without mentioning these two receivers. Ryan Williams down at Alabama and Jeremiah Smith up at Ohio State, they're arguably the two most dominant offensive weapons in the entire country. They are absolute matchup nightmares for any defense they go up against. Now, to really get a grip on just how deep the talent runs on some of these teams, we need to talk about All-Americans, right? These are the players recognized as the absolute best of the best at their position. Having a few on your team is great, but having a lot of them, well, that's how you win championships. So, I want you to just look at this number for a second. Let it sink in, 17. What could that possibly represent in the context of just one team? That's the number of Ohio State players on the preseason first and second All-American teams. 17! That is an absolutely insane concentration of elite talent on one single roster. It's almost unheard of, and it tells you everything you need to know about their championship or bust mentality. So obviously, when you have a roster that is that loaded with talent, you're not just in the national title conversation, you're leading it. So let's pivot to the polls and see how this incredible talent distribution shapes the list of the top championship contenders for 2026. Okay, here we go. Let's count them down. The preseason top 5. At number 5, we've got Texas A&M. Number 4, Florida State. Coming in at number 3 is that talent-hoarding Ohio State team we just talked about. And at number 2, their new Big Ten rival, Penn State. So who's number 1? And there it is. The preseason number 1 team in the entire nation is the Georgia Bulldogs. So despite Ohio State's insane roster, it's the pollsters who have put Georgia at that top spot to start the season. They're the team with the giant target on their back. And this sets up such a fascinating narrative for the entire season, doesn't it? On one side, you have Georgia, the number 1 team, with a very respectable 10 preseason All-Americans, built around a punishing physical defense. And on the other, you have Ohio State, ranked 3rd, but with those 17 All-Americans, led by a high-flying, explosive offense. It's the poll favorite versus what is arguably the most talented roster in the country. Now, beyond that clash of titans at the top, there's a whole landscape of contenders, dark horses, and proud programs just looking to make some noise. So let's zoom out and take a look at the full preseason top 25. And here it is, the whole shebang. Take a second, find your team, see where they landed. You can really see the new landscape on full display here. I mean, look how high teams like Duke at number 6 and SMU at number 8 are ranked. That shows you there's been a real shift in power. And hey, that brand new Pac-12 is well represented, with Oregon State, Boise State, and Memphis all making the cut. This poll truly reflects the wild, unpredictable nature of this new era. So, we've seen the new map, we've met the superstars, we've surveyed all the contenders. Let's bring it all home and really figure out what this all means for the season ahead. What we have here is basically a perfect storm. The new landscape has created a whole new set of challenges. We've got a fresh crop of incredible superstars ready to take over the sport. And it all seems to be building towards this massive collision course between the poll's number 1 team, Georgia, and the country's most talented roster, Ohio State. The stage is set. And that leaves us with one last thrilling question. Preseason rankings and talent lists, they're great for arguments, they're great for hype, but they don't win games on a cold Saturday in November. In this brand new, chaotic world of college football, who really has what it takes to navigate it all, survive the season, and be the last team standing, hoisting that trophy? Well, we're all going to have to watch to find out.
Welcome to the debate. So we are officially staring down the barrel of the 2026 season, and with it, the dawn of this new 16-team Pac-12 era. And Oregon State football is really standing at a precipice. The central question I think that we're wrestling with today is, can Coach Caleb Ward transition this program from the hope of year 1 to genuine respect in year 2? I'm going to argue that the internal culture shift, and specifically keeping quarterback Malik Murphy, positions the Beavers to assert themselves right away.
And I just come at it from a different way. Look, the narrative about culture it's charming, but the math is brutal. You just can't lose 35 players, sign the 47th ranked recruiting class, and then expect to walk into week 1 against a really disciplined Cincinnati team without some serious consequences. I think this roster is just too volatile to trust right now.
I see why you think that, but let me offer a different perspective on that volatility. The whole narrative is shifted. You hear the tagline this offseason, right? Respect is harder than hope. I'd argue the program has already scored a massive structural win just by, being in this new Pac-16. Getting teams like Notre Dame and Boise State validates Ward's vision. But the real proof is the buy-in. Malik Murphy could have gone anywhere. He stayed for his senior year. That signals a kind of internal belief that a spreadsheet just can't measure.
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that belief wins football games when the talent drain is this severe. Let's just look at the numbers. Oregon State graduated 21 seniors and lost 14 players to the portal. That includes Riley Williams, their starting tight end, and pretty much the bulk of their defensive front. You mentioned Murphy, but who's protecting him? The team has exactly 2 preseason All-Pac-12 players, center Van Wells and the running back Aiden Laffrey. That's it. You're basically arguing for a winning ugly strategy, and that's just not sustainable when your talent outflow is bigger than your intake.
That's a fair point, though I would frame the roster turnover differently. It's not just a drain. It's a targeted refresh. You mentioned the 47th ranked class, but you're sort of ignoring the quality of the transfer portal ads. Bringing in a 4-star running back like Aiden Laffrey and Kalen Ellis at right guard, those are immediate high-level upgrades where it really counts. This roster is built for unpredictability. You look at a freshman speedster like Brett Heap and you see inexperience. I see a guy with speed that opposing coordinators have zero tape on. That's what makes him dangerous.
Unpredictability is a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? Especially in Week 1. It's a compelling idea, but let's look at the matchup with Cincinnati. You've got Scott Satterfield on the other sideline. Satterfield's whole philosophy is built on clean fits and limiting mistakes. His teams are designed to control the pace and just outlast you. So when you're relying on notables like a freshman linebacker, Tony Crawley, or plugging holes left by drafted guys like Hankerson, you are incredibly vulnerable to a coach who prizes structure. And in Week 1, discipline almost always beats volatility.
Yeah, but I'm just not convinced by that, because it assumes Ward even wants to play Satterfield's game. Ward's philosophy is what he calls situational aggression. The whole point is to make comfortable teams uncomfortable. If this game stays slow and tight, sure, Cincinnati probably has the edge. But what happens if Oregon State accelerates the tempo? If they use that athleticism to force the game into chaos? That's where the leverage shifts completely. Since he wants routine, Ward wants a riot.
But you have to have the personnel to survive that riot, which I think leads to this definition of success here. The expectations have shifted from maybe winning 4 games to now winning 7. I mean, look at the schedule. Notre Dame, Utah, Oregon. To expect the roster that is, let's be honest, in a rebuild phase, no matter what the locker room says, to hit 7 wins against that slate, it's just unrealistic. The margin for error is basically 0.
And that is exactly the point, though. Ward isn't being judged on learning anymore. The internal pressure is to win late and to, quote, win when the crowd is silent. That tells me the team is mentally past the rebuilding phase. They're not looking for moral victories. They're looking to prove that the Pac-12 isn't just a conference they joined, but one they can actually compete in.
We'll see. Look, to wrap up my side, the excitement around the new conference is real. I get the appeal of it, but the roster holes, particularly on that defensive line, are just too big to ignore. Satterfield and Cincinnati are the absolute perfect reality check for a team that might be, drinking its own Kool-Aid.
And I'll maintain that Oregon State has moved from just seeking headlines to actually building structure. The Cincinnati game isn't about being perfect, it's about proving intent. They are ready to arrive.
Or they're just a fun story with a pretty low ceiling.
And that's the tension we're left with. Thank you for listening to The Debate.
One of the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Nippert Stadium, one of the grand old cathedrals in the sport and home to the Cincinnati Bearcats. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the Oregon State Beavers, taking on a team from the Big 12, the Cincinnati Bearcats. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Beavers will get this season underway as toe meets leather. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So Cincinnati's offense will have the first crack at it in this one. And when you go to market for a veteran quarterback, you want a guy who can come in, command respect, immediately become the starter, and Jesse, they think they found him.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how he's going to perform today. I know he was really excited about this opportunity, and David, he chose this situation specifically because he believed it gave him the best chance to compete for a national championship and to have an opportunity to play at the next level. Now he's got to go show it, right? We've seen this guy play before. We've seen him have success. This is a big stage for him today.
No doubt, and I think all eyeballs will be on him, right? Even his teammates, they're going to be watching every single move. He was the guy that was talked about to come in, to take over, to lead this team. He's making the money. That's talked about as well. So let's see how he responds, and let's see how he gets his career going in a new spot.
They'll give it to the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, they're just going to need more push up front. There was nowhere for that running back to go. The offensive line got moved right back into his lap, and as a result, they lose yards on that play.
Back to throw, it's Turner. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
Well, they try to throw for it there on third down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. So Oregon State's offense will have its first possession of the game. And there has been a lot of talk about this guy. Jesse, they say the farther away you line up from the football, the easier it is to play early. When you're as good as this dude, you're going to play no matter what.
Well, this offense knew he was good coming out of high school, but talking to their quarterback and their coaching staff before the game, David, they didn't know he was this good. He's made catches in practice. He's done things in scrimmage that is completely wowing everybody. Now the question, can he do it when the lights are on and everybody's watching?
And I think receiver is the best spot to transfer being a freshman. Like, it's not the biggest adjustment. These guys aren't so much bigger that you're going against. It's speed. He has the speed. He has the hype. I'm excited to watch this debut.
They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
And I love right out of the gate, this offense is going to be creative, and they're going to try to get their best players the football out in the open field. You saw it right there.
Here's the give off the left side. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Guys, let's talk for just a minute about Oregon State. They found some success on the recruiting trail, got a top 25 class. Now the question is, what can they do with it?
It's a top 25 class. It's not littered with a bunch of five-star blue-chip prospects. They've got guys they feel like they can develop down the road. But, David, the big question is, how long is it going to take?
Yeah, and sometimes when you get that top 25 class, you also found some diamonds in the rough, and then some guys that have some potential that get developed. So interested to see how they do in developing these guys.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. Off the play fake. Trying to escape and get it himself. How about this sophomore learning when to just do it himself?
And that's the extra feel you get with this dude. I mean, unbelievable job dropping back to pass, but understanding third down, I can get it right now. I got a little bit of space right up the middle, pulls it down, runs it straight ahead, and goes and gets the big third down conversion.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Floating away. On the run, deep down the right side. Touchdown, Oregon State. They won it all, and that is exactly what they got. They're on the board first here in the season opener.
And this quarterback really does a great job of seeing the defense and seeing what kind of coverage they're in. And I think when this offense goes empty and they spread the defense out, it just makes it so much more simple for the QB to see what the defense is doing pre-snap and then post-snap. You could tell he's playing in a great rhythm right now because he's seeing the field, and these empty sets are really helping him out.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Cincinnati offense back on the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Dropping back, it's Turner. Makes the grab on the left. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield, and he moves the sticks.
Wants to go up top on first down. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back.
Man, those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football and you stick the quarterback and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
And the Bearcats with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back to pass. Pocket breaking down. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up.
Oh, he's got some space. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets it to midfield. So he was forced to just take what the defense gave him, and they were able to stop him short of the first down.
And when you're a defense and you get 3rd and long and you know exactly where those sticks are, you set your feet at them, they throw it underneath, I go rally, make the tackle. Perfect 3rd down and long execution by this defense.
It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Gets it out fast. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
From the shotgun, the inside give. Makes it past the marker. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run.
He caught it, and he will score. Touchdown, Beavers!
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
The AT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it 14-0. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. Michigan is currently trailing in this one, but if history has taught us anything over the years, it's that closing out the maize and blue inside the big house is not easy. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to Western Michigan. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Scanning the field, it's Turner. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
And this has not been a good start for this offense. Like, this whole team, actually. They're already found themselves in a big hole. They're already trailing. They're going to need to throw the football, and you're going to have to protect your guy. This protection has to be better so he can make more plays.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Oregon State has the lead. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. The Bearcats will send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. Can they catch him? Found a lot of running room before he goes out of bounds, and what a way to build a little momentum. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll go up top on 2nd and short. Touchdown, Oregon State! And they take it in for 6 more points.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the first half.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. Bringing it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. There's still plenty of time, but you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now. Off play action on first down. He's got an open man. Got a lot of room to the right. The 30. At the 20. Touchdown, Bearcats. He got a step and just dusted the field. When that receiver got free, it was
so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. They are set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Fielded in the end zone, it's Durant. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. They've been nothing short of spectacular so far. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they'll try to make it 4 for 4. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just a great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
That pass is incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Quickly complete. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Beavers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
And I just love when guys know exactly where the sticks are. You could tell ran with purpose, finished through the sticks, and got just enough for the first down.
And a nice job up front, too, right? Good communication. Everybody knew where they had to go, hat on a hat, work the double teams, and get some push.
Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him, and it just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. The sure hands, it's Wells. He's got first down yardage as they move it to the 44. And the Beavers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Going to the running game. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And on that play on the RPO, they had the look they wanted, but up front, they just could not get the job done. You see linemen losing their one-on-one battles. There was nowhere for that running back to go.
Making side adjustments here. Back to pass on 2nd down. Pressure coming. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
This QB has had a lot of success all day long, throwing for so many touchdowns, looking very comfortable. Finally, the defense gets to him. Finally, the defense gets a win. They needed something to go their way. Got to start getting some more hits on this guy.
Just what they'd hoped for on 3rd down as they've got a first at the 32.
Really nice awareness that time by the quarterback. He knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up the first down. He's scrambling on that play, and there are a lot of guys out there that would slide, that would try to run out of bounds, protect themselves, but that was really tough what he did. He put his body on the line to go pick up that first.
And you got to do a better job up front right there. That run was doomed from the get-go. Nowhere to go. The back gets hit as soon as he gets the football. Hard to succeed as a running back when you get the ball and you get clobbed.
To the air on 2nd down. Got his man in the middle. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down.
Well, you know who's got to love this offense picking up so many first downs? It's their own defense. David, I know you love playing on teams with great offenses.
Off the play fake on 1st down. Fires into the end zone. And it's a touchdown. It is also a play in which there is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. So that penalty will wipe away some strong red zone execution and take the score off the board. This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Working the middle. He'll get it all the way down to the 8-yard line, and the defense is feeling the heat. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. They'll try to drive ahead on 3rd and short. And he just needed a few inches, and he didn't get it. The defense denies this offense. Fourth down and 1, and they'll go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. They got him. It's a sack, and what a stop for this defense to turn it over on down.
I know that was tough, but as a quarterback, you got to know on 4th down, you cannot take a sack. Any way, shape, or form, you've got to be able to get rid of that football and give it an opportunity. That time, I know it wasn't blocked perfect, but the quarterback's got to have more sense of urgency.
Rushes on him, and the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's 2nd and long. Dropping back, it's Turner. And the pressure gets to him again. Another sack.
How about this defense in this game so far? Already 5 sacks, and we're only in the 2nd quarter. I think if you're the offensive coordinator, you have got to start mixing up these play calls, moving the pocket, get your quarterback away from danger, because it's obvious. This offensive line, they cannot hold up, and they cannot get it done.
There he goes. He won't get there. It'll bring up 4th down.
Love the coverage and not giving up an inch defensively. Their 3rd down, smothering the receiver. As soon as he caught the ball, down he went. They've got this offense pinned.
Takes it on the return. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Boy, that last drive, they had a chance to put 3 on the board and passed. This one needs to be productive, David.
Yeah, I got no problem with aggressiveness. It was a pretty decent drive. This offense isn't fully clicking yet. They need to get in a little better rhythm, and they need to capitalize on those scoring opportunities.
And they've got the weapons to do that too, David. They've got guys that can make plays in space. They need to focus on them and get them the ball this drive.
They'll go to the toss. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I love DBs that want to tackle, and they get an opportunity to look like heroes on these outside toss plays. Physical play by the corner there, getting the ball carried down behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw to the outside is complete. He's tackled right at the 40-yard line. That is well short of the 1st down, and let's see if they go for it here. So they're going to send out the field goal unit to try a long one. He slides that just inside the right upright. And that lead grows even bigger.
And not to be the old guys in the booth, but we are the old guys in the booth. Man, 50-yard field goals used to be really, really hard. Kickers nowadays, man, they are making it look so much easier, and he does right there.
So they get the late field goal right before the half, and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Boys, you never quite know what to expect there in Cincinnati, and we've had a lively first half. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball, he is a problem. And I don't think this defense has the solution. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside the home of Bearcats football since 1902.
Welcome to The Debate. We are here at halftime, Oregon State versus Cincinnati, and the Beavers are holding a pretty commanding 24-7 lead. So the central question, I think, isn't just about the score. It's about program trajectory. Is this first half a real paradigm shift for Coach Caleb Ward in year 2? I mean, are they finally expecting to win? Or is this just a fortunate half where Cincinnati has, well, failed to show up? I'm going to argue that this is proof of concept. Ward has installed a culture of calculated aggression.
And I'm going to take the opposing view here. Because while the scoreboard, yes, it looks lopsided, the underlying numbers suggest a lot of volatility. To me, that lead is fragile. It feels like it's built on, unsustainable efficiency and Cincinnati's own self-inflicted wounds, not some kind of systemic dominance from Oregon State.
You call it fragile. I think the data calls it conviction. Let's just look past the score for a second and at the drive mechanics. Oregon State, they put up 209 total yards to Cincinnati's 94. They have 12 first downs to Cincinnati's 3. But the metric that really defines this paradigm shift for me is the third down conversion rate, 66%. I mean, last year, this was a team that could not stay on the field. Today, they are dictating the terms. That's not luck. That is schematic superiority.
Schematic superiority? I'd argue it's more like statistical noise. You're looking at the volume, but I'm looking at the explosiveness. Cincinnati is actually averaging way more yards per pass, 15.3, to Oregon State's 9.9. And that 83-yard reception by N. Jennings, that proves the Beavers' secondary is porous. Look, Cincinnati is 0 for 4 on third downs. That's an anomaly. If Satterfield just cleans up the execution on those money downs, the Beavers' inability to stop the big play is going to make that lead just evaporate.
See, you're banking on what ifs. Let's talk about the most tangible variable on the field, the quarterback decision. The big controversy was Ward trusting James McCauley over, the higher ceiling guy, Malik Murphy. Well, that decision has been completely vindicated. McCauley is 10 for 15, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 216.1. Ward chose process over potential, and McCauley is out there operating with surgical precision. He's not hunting for the home run. He's just taking the profit on every single down.
Okay, McCauley's managing the game. I will grant you that. But a 216 rating that's just not sustainable. He's throwing a touchdown on basically every third completion. That will regress to the mean. My real concern is the foundation of the offense, the run game. They're kind of plodding along at 4.0 yards per carry. So if Cincinnati adjusts and takes away those short, efficient throws, does McCauley really have the arm talent to stretch the field? We haven't seen it yet. If that passing efficiency dips even a little, the whole offense just stalls out.
But he doesn't need to stretch the field when the defense is suffocating the opponent's rhythm. This is complementary football. Ward's defensive identity has shifted completely to high-pressure blitzing. They've held Cincinnati to only 17 total plays. That is an absurdly low number for a half. By disrupting the timing at the line, Ward is forcing quick bad decisions before a play can even develop.
Right, but high-pressure blitzing is high-risk gambling. We saw exactly what happens when that gamble fails on that Jennings reception. When you send the house and you don't get home, there is no safety net. You mentioned the 17 plays. That low sample size, it actually favors the team with explosive players. All Satterfield needs is for one of those blitzes to be a half-second late, and his experience will absolutely expose those huge gaps in the secondary.
Well, that brings us to the coaching matchup, right? Ward's momentum versus Satterfield's structure. Right now, Ward is proving he can control the game script. And playing with a 17-point lead completely changes the calculus. He can force Cincinnati to become one-dimensional.
I just wouldn't discount a veteran like Satterfield in that locker room. Cincinnati's first half was reactive, sure, but he excels at halftime adjustments. Oregon State has already shown a few cracks in discipline with that one penalty. If they try to keep up this hyper-aggressive intensity, they risk over-pursuing. A disciplined, structural approach from Cincinnati could easily dismantle a team that's just running on adrenaline.
We'll see. To summarize my side, I believe Oregon State is winning the critical moments. They're 1 for 1 in the red zone, and they're trusting the quarterback who values ball security. The identity is set, they're aggressive, they're efficient, and they're expecting to win.
And for me, the entire narrative of year 2 really hangs on these next 30 minutes. Can Ward keep his foot on the gas without crashing? Or will those statistical anomalies regress and allow Satterfield's experience to exploit the very real risks in this aggressive scheme?
The second half will certainly provide the answer. Thanks for listening to The Debate.
Kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. He'll bring it out. It's Durant. They drag him down at the 22. He gambled for the big return out of the end zone and came up a little short. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. They'll open this third quarter with a run. He finds enough room to get it up to the 28-yard line before going out of bounds.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game. The Beavers come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Running back searching for a hole. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3. And here comes the punt team. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. No return coming here as he signals for the fair catch and makes it right around the 30-yard line. Here comes the Cincinnati offense back on the field. Back to pass, it's Turner. Here's the heat. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
Man, I think this quarterback needs to take his offensive line out for dinners more often because they're not protecting him, and sometimes it doesn't even look like they're trying. That now the 6th sack of the game for this defense.
Here's the pressure. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
Well, this offense keeps giving up sacks, and they keep finding themselves in situations like this, 3rd and long right now. They don't have many points in this game, and this is a big reason why. It's hard to score if you don't keep the third downs manageable. So moving forward, whether it's running the football on 1st and 2nd or throwing short passes earlier in the drives, they've got to change things up because taking sacks like this is killing this offense.
They'll give it to Johnson. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss. The Bearcats will punt this one away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Cradles it at the 35. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Got his man downfield. And this defense's head is spinning. He gets it down to the 27.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the 3rd quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige. When you've got the playmakers you have offensively, just keep chucking it.
Unloads to the wideout. A strike downfield. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so...
Touchdown, Beavers! And the stomping has commenced.
And the second half looking a lot like the first half, and this lead continues to build. How about the rhythm of this offense? They are showing you a little bit of everything. What they worked on in the offseason has been right on point, and game 1 going exactly how they scripted it.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is good. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Texas A&M is darn near perfect offensively today. This is almost exactly the way they drew things up in practice this week.
Out of bounds at the 22, and just like that, they're out of trouble. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get back into this game, but they have to get to work on this drive. To the air, it's Turner. Gets it out quickly. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
And they can't make the connection.
It's just not the type of game this guy envisioned. Being in the second half, being less than 50% completions, he has not found any success throwing it. A lot of that you got to give to the defense. They've been in the right place and they've made plays, but he's simply not had his best game today.
Love to see these 3rd down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
They're going to ride this running back. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
The Bearcats will punt it away on 4th down. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. He'll field the punt and take it back. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Handoff from the shotgun. Turning it on! And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a 1st down.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge gain? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Under fire. Here comes the rush, and they've got it wrapped up at the 28.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and that can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
Flips it out on the screen. Quick step and go. They've got him now. He almost picked up that 1st down on the screen.
That's a tough one to execute on offense in that situation. 3rd down, you know it's going to be man coverage. If that receiver's not able to create any separation, then he's going to get tackled as soon as he catches the ball. And that's exactly what happened, now setting up 4th down.
Nice job to make the fair catch at the 16. Make sure that ball didn't bounce into the coffin corner. Final play of the quarter coming. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Fires to the wideout. And the pass falls incomplete, and we have played 3 quarters. That's the end of the period, and Oregon State has the lead. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Give to the single back. They believe in that running game. Got 6 before he stopped at the 23.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Back to pass, it's Turner. It's incomplete, but I don't think it's going to matter. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage, and it looks as if the defense was offside.
That's just a mental error. On defense, you got to watch the ball. I understand the quarterback shouting and he's clapping and there's all this crowd noise, but you just got to hone in, watch the football before you come out of your stance.
They'll go right back to the run. Gets it out to the 38-yard line after picking up 10 on that one.
And I think that's what you want to see from this offense down the stretch. Like, can you physically dominate the game? You've got the lead. Now run the football, eat clock, continue to feed your dude.
Made a defender miss. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
This offense is going to try and grind their way to a win now, and they're going to start force-feeding this guy the football, too. He's made a few plays earlier in this game, but now in the fourth quarter, it's about force-feeding him, getting some push up front, and just icing this thing.
He's got his man. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. And the Bearcats come to the line with a new set of downs. Use the play fake, now to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And it's knocked away downfield, the DB getting a hand in there.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off, accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Stuffed on back-to-back plays. He got nothing, and now they're looking at 3rd and long. Trying to pick up a first down. Dropping back, it's Turner. He uncorks one deep. Couldn't quite haul it in. They almost had their first pick here late in the game.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback and this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Now the play fake. Bought a little time, lets it go. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. The Beavers will try to pin them back with the punt. He'll wave for the fair catch and haul it. Here comes the Cincinnati offense back on the field. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on 4th down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Turner. Throws to the wideout. Grabbed over the middle, it's Jackson. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were...
Breaks into the open. Power Offense are moving quickly down the field. Leaves it with the running back.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. The handoff to Johnson. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
Not just do you get to make a big play on defense, but it's also a TFL, tackle for loss. Doesn't get better than that.
3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here, just don't take a negative play. Under fire. It is incomplete, and he almost had himself an interception in the end zone. It'll be 4th down. Offense in an empty set. On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
They'll run play action. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield.
And it's such an advantage for this defense to have an outside linebacker like that can rush the passer because they can set the edge. They can get off the ball, and they're just way too fast for tight ends or for offensive tackles to get out and block them.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Hit as he throws. It's incomplete and maybe a little too aggressive from this senior trying to fit that one in there. And the Beavers decide to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. And the returner is stopped. First play of the drive comes from the 41. Snags a quick pass on the left. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. What will they dial up on 2nd and 8? Long way to go. Gets it to the back. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
And this offense is going to have to find more explosive plays. And it can't just rely on the dink and dunk. It's going to have to find itself and score more points. Listen, they got beat up today. But moving on in the future, they've got some good pieces. They got to find a way to fit them together, create some explosive plays on this offense, because today they've been lacking.
Really nice job on that play. Quarterback and receiver being on the same page. Quarterback not telegraphing the throw, and the receiver does a nice job finding the soft spot in the defense, just settling down and giving his quarterback a nice target to throw to.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, it's Turner. Almost had the completion, just missed it.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense...
Deep shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati! They took a shot to the end zone and found 6 points waiting on them.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. They get a big win here and start the season on a positive note.
You got to love that as the players. You come out, you have so much anticipation coming into the season, finally getting ready to play in front of a live audience. You're able to come out and execute and get this win under your belt. David, couldn't be a better way to start the year.
And for the losing team, obviously, it's a little bit different. You have something to look at now to analyze where do I need to get a little bit better, but plenty of time still left in the season to improve and turn it around.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Welcome to the debate. Today we are looking at Oregon State's pretty emphatic 31-13 Week 1 victory over Cincinnati. Now, on the scoreboard, it looks like a comfortable win for Coach Caleb Ward in year 2. But the real question is this. Does this performance prove Ward has truly transitioned the program from hope to respect? Or was this just, a schematic dismantling of a rigid opponent? I'm arguing this game defined the tone of a new era.
And I'm going to argue that while it was a tactical triumph, absolutely, it was a triumph that benefited heavily from a Cincinnati team that played right into Oregon State's hands. I think this win actually exposes a ceiling we need to talk about.
I see why you'd think that, but I think you're missing the intent behind the whole game plan. This was an imposition of will. I mean, at halftime, it was already 24-7. The narrative all offseason was respect is harder than hope, right? And Ward answered that immediately with probably the most controversial decision of the week, starting James McCauley over the big transfer Malik Murphy. That wasn't a conservative choice. It was a statement. McCauley showed absolute command. 3 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. It proves Ward is prioritizing execution over just, raw talent.
See, I'm sorry, I just don't buy that. You call it conviction, I call it playing it safe. Look at the opponent. Scott Satterfield's Cincinnati is disciplined, sure, but painfully reactive. They let Oregon State dictate every single term of the game. You're praising the offense, but I'm looking at a Cincinnati offense that completely collapsed because they have zero dynamism. Their quarterback, Zion Turner, finished with negative 50 rushing yards. I mean, that's a staggering statistic, and it's mostly from sacks and pressure. That win was built on Cincinnati's inability to handle a blitz, not because Oregon State has some elite offensive ceiling.
Okay, but that's an interesting point on the offense, so let's talk about the quarterback. You're questioning the ceiling, but McCauley posted a 193.4 passer rating. In college football, that is efficient, bordering on elite. He wasn't just managing the game, he was dissecting the defense. You look at that 39-yard touchdown pass to Brett Hape in the first quarter, he took exactly what the defense gave him. That is the definition of the command Ward has been preaching.
It's efficient, I'll grant you that, sure. But is 211 total passing yards sustainable against a team that can actually score? That's the whole issue. By leaving Murphy and his raw arm talent on the bench, you are signaling a preference for safety over explosiveness. McCauley gives you a really high floor, but when you play a team that doesn't go, 3 for 11 on third down like Cincinnati did, are you going to miss that power? I think you might. You're celebrating a lack of mistakes, but you need big plays to win championships.
I'm not convinced by that because it just ignores the other side of the ball. You don't need to force explosive plays when your defensive identity is this aggressive. I mean, this wasn't a defense trying to contain. They were hunting moments. Look at A. Beasley. 7 total tackles, a sack, and a massive 5 tackles for loss. 5 TFLs by 1 player. That ruins an offensive game plan all by itself. They were just wrecking the backfield. And pulling the starters with nearly 6 minutes left, that's a message of dominance, not just safety.
Yeah, that's a compelling argument. But let me ask you this. Have you considered that Satterfield's safe structure never actually tested the Beaver secondary deep? The blitzes were effective, yes, but they were landing against an offense that had no rhythm. I mean, 27% on third down is abysmal. Cincinnati's play calling was scared. A better offensive coordinator would have used that aggression against them, throwing into the blitz. So while the floor is clearly raised, I'd argue the defense benefited from an opponent who just refused to take any risks.
But you play the schedule you have, and they didn't just beat them, they broke them. That's the shift. In year 1, this is a close, ugly game. In year 2, Ward finished the message. They established a physical standard that says they can win ugly and they can win with force.
They established that they are highly competent, absolutely. But whether that identity is championship caliber or just, good enough to beat mid-tier teams, that remains the question. The identity has been revealed, we agree on that. But I see limits where you see unlimited potential.
And I suppose that is the tension of year 2. Oregon State has moved from hope to something tangible. But whether that something is enough for the long haul, well, that's up to the listener to decide. Thanks for listening to the debate.
And that's a wrap on this edition of State of the Beavers. Thanks for spending some time in the lodge with us today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe on your favorite platform and leave us a review. It really helps the colony grow. Big thanks to our production team and, most importantly, to you for listening. Keep building, keep grinding, and we'll catch you on the next one. Until next time, this has been the State of the Beavers. Stay sharp out there.